Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mayank and I am a fashion freak, Goyard geek,
luxury lover, shopaholic.
All the good things, so if that's something you're interested in.
all those good things. Today, I'm going to be doing a much requested Goyard Anjou comparison between a real and a fake bag. The difference is what you can tell, how you can tell, blah, blah, blah. So, if that's something you're interested in, please stick around, hit that like, subscribe, share button. Please consider subscribing. Please smash that like button. Please consider sharing and stick around for the video, okay? Keep on watching. Okay, so today we are lucky enough to be doing a review between a real and a fake one. Didn't plan for it to be Christmassy colors, but here we are. You get what you work with. So I bought mine. Well, I mean, can you guys tell which one you think? Should I wait a minute? Guess in the comments below which one's real, which one's fake. Curious, very curious. I'm just gonna enter it. This is mine. It's real. The Rouge Anjou GM. And I got it in Paris for 2,400 euros. But it retails in the US for $3,400. Quite a price difference. Brand new. I did an unboxing of it, I think, but maybe I have not posted it yet. But my videos are very out of order, I know. There's so much content and so hard to keep editing them. There's so much content and want to get certain things out before other things, so sometimes I fill them out of order. Anyway, also I'm a little sick right before my birthday. But so if my voice is a little bleh, that's why, and if I feel a little meh, that's why. And so this one, luckily enough, somebody was able to give me a fake to compare. So this is the PM size in a green. Like I said, I did not plan for it to be Christmassy colors, but here we are. Initial things. First of all, if you kind of just see, like this kind of stands, you can tell it stands like this is a more sturdy, more sturdy bag, sturdier bag than the St. Louis, but it still should be a little floppily. Like see this one flops, which is what it should do because it's still a very, you know, malleable bag. With the fake here, a little more sturdy. The handles like stand up pretty upright. These guys kind of fall in. The plastic's still on because I have not used this bag. Side note, the plastic handles from France are so much nicer in the sense that they don't like the ones from the US, they'll like tear. I mean, I don't know if it's any different because they make them in the same factories and whatever, I assume, and it all goes, but for some reason, maybe it's on these bags because on the St. Louis, the plastic will start opening up really easily and like be already gone before you even know it. Whereas this has not come off at all. It's like perfect. There's no tear. There's no anything. Anyway, so plastic on the handles, tag on this handle, which is always across from the one with the little strap. I think usually it's always there. On this one, the handles are sturdier. They're thicker. I don't know if you can see, but these handles are like much thicker than these. See, these handles are a lot thinner than these ones. So that's red flag number one, the thickness of the handles. Like it should be thick, but not that thick. Number two, like if you actually look at the base of the handle, you can see right there, it's kind of got this like gap in the middle and it's like a thicker, you know, kind of base going on. Whereas this one is much tighter and like more compact and there's no gap in the middle. It's like very, very fitted. Oh yeah, so well, red flag number one, obviously, is that the handles kind of stand up. My backpack's out for repair, so I don't have it to compare, but the green on this is a little darker than green of Goyard, the regular green of Goyard, so that's the thing. But it's the shininess, I think, is about right on both. I don't know. What do you guys think? It should be shiny. It shouldn't be dull, but it shouldn't be too shiny. Feeling-wise, this feels a little softer and a little more like, yeah, like malleable. This is a little sturdier. The bumps are a little too bumpy rough. You should feel the bumps, but not that much. Let's see. Stitching wise, we've got one little one and then two thicker ones here, and then it should be 15 total. One little one, 15 total. So they got the stitching right. And then those look good too. The stitching, it's pretty even on this one. It's actually pretty good fake in terms of the stitching. You can see here on this one, I'm gonna come up closer. So on this one, you see it's like very thin stitching with a little bit of space, thin, space. Whereas this one, it's kind of like they're touching, like there's no space in between them. They're like totally, the thickness, like they're all evenly spaced, but they're touching. There's no like gap, no gap, no gap. Other things, like there's a little bit of like, you can see that it kind of like bends, right? And it's got these like creases along here. This doesn't have any. It's very sturdy. It's almost too sturdy. Whereas you can see like the veins and stuff in this. You can't see it on this one. Again, handle thickness, the paint, the spacing on here too. See, it's like perfectly evenly spaced, but there is a space between them. Whereas this one, no space. So that's a red flag. We got the diagonals and the sideways. That's good, diagonal, sideways. But it looks like this is a little like, I don't know, these stitches don't exactly match up. You see what I mean? And also on this one, you can see a little bit of the stitch coming out right there. A little bit of stitch coming out there, there and there, you can see the actual stitch coming undone already. So a stitch coming out right here in the bottom. Oh, and on this side, definite stitch coming out, stitch there.
The stitches are coming out.
Yeah, and then in terms of, it's just like a sturdier feel. It's got the little once over here, and then the bump here where the lining on the outside overlaps, which I think is actually accurate. So yeah, we got the once over here and the bump on the other side. So that's actually the same. But again, oh, and they do have spacing in the stitching here, which is interesting because they didn't have it in other spots, but they do have the spacing, but it's a lot. This is much thinner. These are longer stitch, like longer
Stitches.
the Goyard on each of them is, so it's a little, I don't know if you can see, but so if you see, this is really thin all the way across and thin here, whereas the real one is a little thicker. Just a tad thicker, but it is thicker. And I think up close you can see it's a little shinier too. I don't know if that comes across, but it does. This also just feels very stiff. The whole thing feels stiff. This looks, I mean, that looks wrong. This looks wrong. This feels wrong. It just feels wrong. This is much softer. The leather is just much more soft and like, you know, it feels nicer. You see, this is how it should look. That button in there. So here, so that is how it should look. Unfortunately for the red one's the only one that has it in white. Every other color has it in red. Can't exactly compare it to this one because this one has a red one. I don't know if that's the right shininess it's supposed to. I think it looks a little too shiny, but that could be right. But the font is actually pretty good. Matches up pretty well, so A for effort on that. Paris is off, and the Made in France is off, actually. So the Goyard's right, but the Paris and the Made in France are a little different. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll just hold it there for a sec. Yeah, even like in here, see how this leather is? It's like a lot more like less grained and less veiny, and it's just kind of stiff. Whereas this is really, you can see, you know, the pebbled, and it's very soft. Let's do a comparison of these. So here we have this one versus this one. I mean, already you can tell these corners are a little, okay, size-wise, it's the same, and it is the same size for both the PM and the GM. It's a little smaller on the bottom, actually, here, so that's a little flag, because they should be the same size for the PM and the GM. The button, so here, if you look really closely, you can tell the difference in the buttons, especially like on the A. You can see that this has like its two little feet, whereas this has no feet. This is a little deeper in, whereas this isn't as deep. The D-ring is more square, and this is more round. That's off. That's coming off. Obviously not good. Inside should be two doubles on each side. It does have it, but they're coming undone. That looks fine inside. I mean, it's the right kind of hem. Let me count the number of, let me see the dots. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the dots are actually fine. They do have the right pattern of 14, 16, 14, 16. But these dots, again, are a lot thinner. The black dots and the yellow dots are a little off too in terms of the color. Again, that could be different on a green. I just don't have my green right now. This square looks smaller here than this side. So this has 4, 4, 3, 3. This has 4, 4, 3, 3, but does look smaller here. Inside, that obviously it looks like inside. Plain button, Goyard, Paris, all vertical, Goyard, Paris, Made in France. This one's upside down, which doesn't seem right, and then that's fine, but that doesn't exactly match up. See, the Goyard, again, once again, the Goyard is actually red. It's the Paris and Made in France that are off, and then this is upside down, but it is similar font, but then it didn't come with one of these. Back to the bags. Other differences. So the St. Louis has a little Made in France here. I don't think the Anjou has that. No, it doesn't. No. Okay. So reversing. This one's a lot harder to reverse. It's not as,
I mean, that looked pretty easy, but
it's not as easy as it looks. Okay, reverse like that actually looks pretty good, except for, like I said, the leather's a little too smooth. Bottom looks good, and let's reverse you, Queenie. I do love this bag though, because it's so beautiful. It's so nice to use. Like, I mean, if you want like a very, I mean, red obviously like a color, but if you wanted something subtle without too much logo and branding, then you just see the kind of Goyard, into the Goyard inside the bag instead of outside when you wear it this way. And it's just like a red tote, which could be, you know, just simple. And the only thing is right here, and if you hold it this way, you can't even tell at all, right? Except for when you open it up and look inside. There's also a lot of different ways to wear this bag too. So it's just like, I don't know if you can see, but it's just like softer. It's already got some creasage in it, but the bottom looks like that. Yeah, I mean, you can just tell the pebble is very different, but otherwise pretty good. It's supposed to be like, you know, the linings on the other side, so this side's like all There, the corners, handle length. So the handle length is actually the same on both of these, which is wrong. The PM should have a shorter handle length. I think it's like 6 or 7 inches versus 7 or 8. They gave it the longer handle length, which I guess is nice, but it shouldn't be. It should be shorter. I actually don't even know if this is fully the right PM size. It looks like it is on eyeballing it, but who knows? Okay. I think that's everything though. I mean, most of the stuff I can think of. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. If there are other things that I missed that you know about, other things I should look out for. I could do a follow-up or show you what this has versus the other one if there are other questions. But yeah. That's my Anjou review for vous. Any other questions? No? Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like that video, please consider subscribing. Please give it a thumbs up or a like and share with your friends and family. If you hate it, please share with your enemies and bosses and exes. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye! Bye. 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 Bye.